and welcome to the start of your climb, along with me, to the very top of UFL. As I said before, the game is not in as good of a spot as I wish it was at the beginning, which is why I'm throwing the flashback videos to my initial daily grind, my initial climb to the top, so you can see exactly how I did it. Now, with that being said, I didn't go as in depth. The flashback, let's call it documentary series that I'm releasing right now. By the way, the next couple episodes are about to drop. That was more of a summary of, my experiences on the pitch. I speak about all my different matches, showcase the highlights, so you can see exactly how the game's changed, which I find that interesting. You could see the tactics that worked. You could see the approach, the mindset that I had to get to top player in the world ranking in UFL, which, no matter where the game stands, is a tough task, right? And it's going to be a tough task again, but there are certain things along the way that I learned and that I used to, perform the best I could on the pitch. At the end of the day, it's about skill on the pitch above all, for sure. And including when the game's in a not so good spot as far as actual football skill-wise, you still need to have skill overall on how to be victorious on the pitch, which is how you get to the top, obviously. So we're going to go over some things off the pitch that allow you to have the best opportunity to succeed on the pitch. Before we get into that, let me get the chat going, make sure if there's any questions along the way, I am prepared to answer. Alright, and there we go. Man. Let's get this opened up. I'll tell you what, YouTube can be an absolute pain sometimes, but it's okay. We'll deal with it. Alright, there we go. So, we're going to start with the actual players in each position. Not the exact players that I got, but why I went for these players. What players you're looking for in general. Not necessarily just for the 4-2-3-1 wide, which, by the way, is the best setup right now. We'll look through some formations, first of all, for those of you who may want to try something else. But why the 4-2-3-1 wide works the best right now is because in the 4-2-3-1 wide, you have the ability to isolate the opponent's defense out wide before you bring the ball into the middle with less defenders, right? You pulled them out wide. So you isolated the central defenders and gave your central players, your central attackers, more space to exploit, right? More time for your attackers, both striker and cam, to take on the center backs with the wing backs and potentially CDMs pulled out, trying to take care of winning the ball back, right? That's the job you're doing when you're pulling the ball out wide, when you're keeping possession away from goal. And once you pull enough players out, you work the ball in so you have more space. It's the best way to pull apart defenses that are many times park the bus very narrow, because individual defending is very hard, and right now dribbling with an individual player, that's what everyone's scared of. That's what everyone's trying to prevent with the park the bus. So 4-2-3-1 does a great job offensively, helping you create chances, and then defensively, of course, you have the two CDMs to cover that larger gap. Ever since the update, that gap between your center backs and midfielders is bigger, and so having two CDMs just minimizes that gap. So going with the 4-4-2, it's a great setup, except maybe if you're going for this in more of an attacking situation. If not, go for the 4-4-2 holding. You sacrifice some space in the midfield in the attack if you're looking to, create chances through those two central midfielders, or maybe have one push up. But it's extremely important to have two CDMs right now in the current, setup of the game after the current update. So 4-4-2 is great, but go 4-4-2 holding. Not only that, but it's better to have a stacked setup up top, whether it's two strikers or one striker and one cam. It's better to have a stacked setup than two strikers flat up top like that. And I'll tell you why. Because when two strikers are flat like that, it's it's easier for your opposition to defend. It's easier for them to stick one player in between the two strikers and just snip out any chance of them connecting, right? Whereas when they're stacked, that deeper cam or striker can make overlapping runs past the front striker, many times going unmarked, and he's an option for a wall pass with that front striker for give and goes, right? So it's just more options with the two because with that second striker that would be underneath, they can more push out left, push out wide, right, play off of that central player, right, whatever it is. They can even drop back some and help defensively. They're just in more of a helpful overall position, including more helpful in the attack than two strikers flat up top. Because the way they play in this game is you essentially have one striker that's operating on the left side, one striker that's operating on the right side, but nothing to kind of spark any creativity between the two. Like I said, it's very easy to nip out play, with one defender between the two strikers. So just keep that in mind. As you play more, you'll see kind of what I'm talking about with that. You'll see a lot more creativity with a striker and a cam, or two strikers stacked like in the 4-4-1-1, which is right here. So if you didn't care about the two CDMs, which I strongly recommend you do think about that, but if you didn't, go for this instead of a 4-4-2 flat. That second striker that's underneath is going to do a lot more damage to your opposition set up like this. Your team as a whole will do a lot more damage set up like this if you need to go that route. Now scrolling down, of course we have all of the different 4-3-3s. We won't go into all the different ones, but essentially it comes down to mainly the difference between your 3 CM setup, right? 2 CDMs, 1 CDM. You see here all 3 CMs. You have 2 CMs, 1 cam. You have 1 CM, 2 cams. There's just a ton of different setups that's more attacking, balanced, defensive, and the 4-3-3 is a very dangerous setup, right? It's a very good way to attack, especially in this meta right now, working the ball between your left wing striker and right wing. However, I would say the biggest thing that this lacks, unless you have a good supporting cast, is that drop-off connection, right? This is very similar to the 2 flat strikers. So it's very important to make sure one of these CMs, or 2, is even more powerful, obviously, are coming up and supporting, almost forming triangles with those front 3. Then obviously, to form a triangle, sometimes players use the false 9 setup where your striker drops in as almost a attacking midfielder, which I never really liked that setup. On paper, in theory, it could work, but with that striker drop back like that, I just found, it's a pretty big disconnect between the wingers, the striker, and the rest of the midfielders. So just something to keep an eye on there too. The 4-1-2-1-2, narrow. Now, there was a time where this was excellent, as far as the meta goes. The reason why it's not now is because teams are collapsed and trying to keep players isolated in the middle, to try to keep their defense isolated in the middle to keep players from just dribbling them, right? So when you have a narrow setup like this, it's much easier for the opposition to defend without spreading out of that clustered shape that they want to be in, when you have the ball. So in theory, you could ping the ball around them, right? But the way the system works right now with the park the bus mentality, everyone narrow, everyone down the middle defensively, then spread out, you can not only get stifled out offensively, but you will also run the chance of getting burned down the wings, on the other side of things. What's up, Boomfoot? Good to see you, buddy. 4-5-1 could be good. Again, this is all dependent on the supporting cast you have in the central midfield area, right? I don't really like this setup as much anymore. It was good. It was appealing at one point, but you don't have any CDMs whatsoever, so you're missing out defensively. And then on the attack, you can have too much of a gap, too much isolation with your striker, unless you play amazing or have a very good CM that acts as a cam, right? 4411 we already talked about. 4222, a version of the 442. So I don't like the two flat striker setup. I do love the two CDMs, and then of course you have the cams, which honestly, the way this plays, it's very similar to a 442. A little more connection between diagonal connection between your cams and strikers. However, what I notice in this is it's very hard to find two cams that actually can fit this exact setup, with all the statistics you need, which is one of the biggest problems. But if you could, make it work, the 4-2-2 can absolutely be dangerous. Again, it's just that lack of cam, that lack of central option, even though you could technically pull those cams, like in this case, Kopani and Williams, where they're at right now. Instead, in the game, if you can more manually push them to be almost Kopani going between Omega and Adams, and then Williams sometimes operating in between Pulisic and Benacer, right? And then obviously pulling them out manually when they're needed on the width of the pitch, on the outsides. All right, so 4222, 4141. This one, a little bit, it's basically a version of the 451, right? So again, now you have a CDM, which helps you defensively. Still would much prefer 2, but same thing offensively, right? Depends how you utilize those 2 CMs and how well you support your striker with them, as well as your left mid and right mids. The 4-3-3s we already talked about. 3 backs, no way in heck. Even though the 5 backs play like 3 backs, the actual 3 backs don't allow the wingers to get back enough. Just the way the game has them set up. Pretty much all football games do that too. Despite instructions, despite everything, they aren't defensive enough when they're in that midfield spot. Way better, if you're going to do something like this, to go the 5-back route, right? Now, all these 5 backs do miss one major area, right? So let's see here as we scroll down. Okay, perfect. So I just want to make sure I look through it. But yeah, so if you're going to make sure there's no sleepers in there with the 3-back, and there's not. But as far as the 5 backs, right, if you're going to go 5 back, just make sure you realize you're going to have to pressure defensively. You cannot just sit back with 5 back and go, oh, I'm good, I got 5 defenders. No, you will get smoked. You will have tons of finesse shots. You will not see a lot of the ball. You have to pressure in this setup with one of your defenders. But not only that, you have to be able to slide in for that defender that pressures once once you're going to win the ball. So say Van de Ven, for instance, in this 5-2-1-2 is pushing up to pressure a striker that just received the ball, right? He's not giving him any space to think about, options, to think about anything. He's right on him, right? And then as he attacks, as Van de Ven attacks the ball, you would pull in this case, Garris or Amanami, right? Most likely Garris, because Amanami's marking a dangerous part of the pitch. You don't want him to be pulled out if possible. So Van de Ven goes to pressure, right? The opposition feels that pressure and then tries to look for the hole to play the through ball. Well, you've already manually pulled Garris into that hole that Van de Ven left. So now you have 4 defenders, but then you have Van de Ven pressing like an attack, a defensive center mid. Same with Amanami. The ball's in the center, goes to a striker. Amanami, don't give him space to operate, right? So you put pressure on the opposition with Amanami, and then Van de Ven, manually you slide him over to cover the hole, like, right, that was left by the hole that was left by Amanami pushing up. And then when Van de Ven slides over to cover that hole Amanami left, Garris slides over and covers Van de Ven. So everybody is working together, and you manually have to lead this, right? It's nice when you win the ball in these situations, right, and you have no issues. But you got to remember that sometimes, as you're working on it, especially, you're going to give up more chances even when you're in a 5-back. So don't listen to people with their whole 5-backs to cheat. You're going to, trust me, you're not just going to turn on, put it on a 5-back and have success with it, right? So I climbed all the way to the top with this being my main setup. The main two things that helped me out is, one, I knew how to pressure defensively and cover the holes after. Say I pressure with Adams, I knew that I had to close that gap with Dumfries. Say Amanami got pulled out, right? I knew I needed to cover the hole with Van de Ven, but then also cover the next hole with Garris. I did all these things actively while having attacking wingbacks. So in my case, in this team it's Garris and Dumfries. In the previous team, it was Udogie and Dumfries. And I always would win the ball, right? Say Amanami pushes up to attack. He pressures a quick pass from the opposition. When he makes that quick pass, Van de Ven's in the hole to intercept. So now Van de Ven plays it up to Kolpani, right? Meantime, Garris and Dumfries are shooting up the pitch. And then you'll have Nico Williams and Pulisic tucked in on offense, right? Then, once you do that, you have the option of the overlap from Udogie and Dumfries, right? You have the option of playing interplay between Kopani Williams and Mega, Kopani to Benacer, maybe switch to Pulisic, and then your wingbacks are actually just an outlet option, right? They're just there to put extra eyes on, to pull extra eyes off of your other players in the attack, right? But having them in the support helps, especially players like Dumfries, Udogie, Mendy, whoever you have that can shoot up that wing before players can recover. It's absolutely helpful. So that's about everything in general as far as formation goes. But for us, of course, it is the 4-2-3-1 wide, right? Again, with this, 2 CDMs to minimize that gap between the defense and attack. We have one more all out, if you will, CDM and Adams, okay? Sorry, I'm trying to show you. There we go. You see here the stats. He still has a lot of work to do, but excellent defensively, right? Still strong enough, agile enough, right? Not some big house, but still strong enough to win the balls as true CDM. And then Benacer, born to be a box-to-box. Yes, I know the shooting's low. Yes, I know overall he's not that impressive when you look at this time of the game. But when you look at this player boosted up and you look at his potential, it is insane. Alright, so we got that. So yeah, 4-2-3-1 wide. If we're going defensive, by the way, 5-4-1. This is what I was talking to you guys about. In the midfield, though, with the 5-back in the midfield, though, you are sacrificing no CDMs. So with the 5-back, I'm going to have to pressure hard. Then I'm going to have to manually pull back my 2 CMs because this is only going to be when I need to close out a game where I already have a victory. Where I have a victory intact. We're not going to necessarily pull this out, obviously at a tie because, we need to win the game. And we're not going to pull this out, obviously, if we're losing because we need a goal and everyone drops back in the setup. Attacking, we go 4-3-3 attacking. This is what I was talking about. The cam, right? You have your 2 wingers, your striker, but you need a cam to connect them. And in this case, you have a cam. Then you have 2 CMs that actually uses both deep-lying playmakers, right? That's more what you have in this to go along with your cam, your wingers, and your striker working together. You have 2 not CDMs, but deep-lying playmakers that are constantly there for openings, constantly there so you can recycle the ball, and you use this with these pressure tactics, right? With these all-out constant pressure tactics, only when you absolutely need a goal, fully knowing that going out like this aggressive, can easily lead to the instant, loss of the game because your opponent, if they get their chance and you're not focused, they're going to score. But if you push it, if you're smart about the options you choose, you could get the ball back for sure. Or sorry, you can get the game back with a goal for sure in this setup. There are so many options. Obviously, with your wing backs going into the attack, with your two CMs actually acting almost as cams themselves, and then of course your three-pronged attack up here, you can absolutely get back in the game. So when you see yourself switching to the attacking 4-3-3, know that you have to be ready to just, if you give up a goal, it's pretty much over. But also know that many times you are going to get back into a game using a setup this powerful and this attacking with these tactical setups. What's up, Valley? How are you? So now we know our formation, right, which is huge. We know kind of what we're looking for in each player, what we want from them out on the pitch, depending whatever setup you have, right? For the 4-2-3-1 wide, for instance, goalkeeper, that always stays the same. No matter what, if we're going skill set, cap play right here. The most important, the improves goalkeeper diving. It makes a difference. The goalkeepers already have broken saves, but those are largely based on animations, right? You want to give your keeper the chance of making those saves when, making those saves even when the animations don't trigger. You want your goalkeeper to be able to keep as many extra balls out of the net as possible. Sometimes goalies will be goalies. They're going to give up some nonsense. They're going to make some great saves. You want to maximize the amount of great saves they make. So the one area to do that in, to do better in, is the one area to do better. Oh, wait, where is that? Oh, there it is. Sorry. I got sidetracked because I wanted to go into it. So you definitely want the diving, the cap play. It makes such a difference. The keeper I'm going after, by the way, as I go up is Bono. And one thing I noticed using him on the climb, I tested Ederson. As you can see in my throwback videos, I've tested all players, all the top keepers. This cap play at the highest level, which for Jansen, since he doesn't have it in red, you want to get it in yellow if you don't. But go for a goalkeeper like Bono or somebody with cap play in red, and you will keep the ball out of the net for many other players, right? Or for many other opponents. You will keep the ball out of the net a lot more than you would have without having a goalkeeper with cap play. So remember that. The cap paw, very important. This is what I want to go over when I got sidetracked. This right here, this commander, improves central defenders. And there's a few other stats like this across the board, but outside of cap play, go after this commander, right? It gives a boost to your center back stats automatically. Boom, right now I have it in a low effect. If I get it all the way to a high effect, obviously I can't get it in ultra. That's what, roughly about 9 to 12 attribute points boosted for your defenders. That's huge, right? That is absolutely huge. So make sure, cap play, commander. Now, also, height-wise, 192 centimeters, you see here. If you can get into the 200s, great, right? Or the high 190s, if you can. Do not go into the 180s if you can help it. Again, if there's some goalie that you're dead set on getting for nostalgia, for whatever, goalkeeper isn't necessarily the make or break position, but I would judge it by first skill set. Make sure they have cap play, right? Preferably in red, but if not, so be it. Commander, that's just a side note. You can add that as you get skill points, right? You don't have to look at that as a natural skill set your teammates have. And then, of course, the last thing is the height. Like I said, try to get your keeper as tall as possible. They just cover more ground in the goal. It's as simple as that. Taller goalkeepers cover more ground in goal. Simple as that. Moving to wingbacks, the reason why Dumfries is so good is because he has a great combination of speed, right? The aggression, his ability to get in there and win the ball from opponents. You see here he's very low rated, but as he boosts up, 188 CM with great speed. So when he wins the ball, he can rip down the right wing, from his wingback position and create attacks for you just off of that. And then he can get in there. He can win aerial balls. He can get in there and duel with the most strong players. And he's also nimble enough. To get in there and keep with the agile opponents that he'll be covering. So wingbacks like Dumfries on the right side, and then on the left side, Udogie, are excellent to have. Then obviously you have those smaller, and the Mendy too. Mendy on the left too, right? Then you have those smaller options that are more like agile, more good with the ball at their feet. Like you have a Theo at left back, could be excellent too. Let's go look at some of them so I can give you an example. So DeMarco, big dog, right? He could play. He could easily be a good pickup, right? He's nowhere near, you see, like a Dumfries, who's on the right back side, but you get what I'm saying. He's nowhere near like the left back version. But DeMarco, you absolutely can make work. Vardiol, you just have to be aware that he's more of a center back, turn left back. So he's going to be bigger, a little bit clunkier than your typical left back. But he could absolutely work because he is a beast in aerial duels. He is a beast when he's trying to push defenders off the ball, and he's just agile enough to stay with the shifty defenders, right? The shifty attackers. That's the biggest thing you're looking at. So, for instance, the problems with Nuno Mendes, 180 cms, not too bad. Let's see the tackles, interception, strength, 85. Okay, they didn't do Nuno. Nuno would be a great option, right? Let's see a player that, like Balde. Do not get Balde. That would be a huge, huge mistake. You go for a player like Balde. He can do excellent with the ball at his feet. He operates more like a winger instead of a wing back, but he's going to get dominated in the air, right? He's not going to be very good in duels like that one-on-one, and you're going to be better off going with a stronger wing back that can hold his own in the in the physical department. Also do well with the ball at their feet, and also have good defending principles. So stay away from a player like Balde. He's great with the attack, not so much on the defensive side, right? And then on the right, see if there's anybody else I want to go over. No, of course there's Udogie. You see there 186 centimeters, right? Very big, very capable on the ball, very fast, especially as he gets boosted up that wing. So that's the biggest thing. It's just his physical presence on the pitch that obviously helps the team win the ball back. Now, skill set wise for wingbacks, honestly, the crossing doesn't mean nothing. If you're a heavy crossing team, maybe you look into this more, but the typical defensive stats, plus like dribbling, of course that helps because your wingbacks are going to be forced sometimes to dribble, right? So it's up to you to decide, what you need out of here outside of the typical. Of course, tackling, you want that all the way up, or if you can get it in the red, great. Of course, the positioning and composure. Not, during attacks, is that important for you? Are you going to have the wingbacks pushing the attack or not? This could be very important, right? You would be able to know, like, do you pass and move a lot? Do you play a lot of possession where your wingbacks need to be better passing? Of course, connector would be better. For me, tackling has to go all the way up, for sure. And then after that, probably dribbling, raises the efficiency of tackles if a center back is nearby. This could be huge. A lot of these on the wingback side are more optional. Outside of tackling, which every wingback needs to be a good tackler, you can kind of make your choices, right? The biggest thing is there's no bonus for your other teammates as far as wingback goes, right? I'm going to show you all the positions that have those bonuses for other players, because those are very important. But for the wingback, outside of tackling, you choose if defending is an important one. You choose if raising better positioning, like in the attack, is good for your wingbacks. Then, of course, vulture could be a good one too, because you are going to need to make tackles with your wingback when the center back is around, right? So raising the efficiency of the tackles you win, of course, is a good thing. Okay? So, in summary, Claimer, Vulture, look hard at those. And then, yeah, go through and make sure you choose the best skills other than that best suit how you play using your wingbacks. Whoops. All the way out. So, keeper, wingbacks, center backs. Another important aspect that I always look at. I won't get defenders without it, okay? So you see here, Air King. If it's not in red, make sure it's at least in yellow. Now, obviously, Amanami is a lower rated player that we got based on the amount of, CP we had. But as I go up, I want to typically have both my center backs, right, or 3 if you're playing a 5-back, with red Air King, or at least medium effect right off the bat, so I can immediately get high effect. And then once I get high effect, I'm looking at 2 big areas, okay? Well, actually 3 for center backs. One, of course, is tackling. You want to have red if possible. If not, get that to yellow ASAP, right? The next, not as important as tackling, but can absolutely come in handy, is, of course, interceptions. Your center backs being able to step in front of attackers sometimes and intercept the ball absolutely helps you gain the ball and start on the offense again. Okay? But the most important one that many people pass up, and I'm going to show you where this is huge for another player too, this strong link. So it improves defending attributes, and you get an increased bonus, increased improvements in attributes if at least one more player with this skill is on the pitch, which we have. You see here, I already got 1 skill for Amanami. I added this strong link, okay? Now, typically speaking, I would get Air King all the way up. I would get tackling all the way up. Then I'd start working elsewhere. Okay, that's typically how I do it. The most important parts, like Air King winning both knockdowns and defending against players trying to score on us, right? Yeah, that's a problem. So, as you go forward, you want your center backs as you move up the ranks to look more like this. Okay? Full interceptions, Air King red, almost full claimer, then we get strong link. So we're set up, okay? Right? So make sure you don't pass it up. It's free boost. Of course you should take it. I guarantee many players are looking at this like, what? Now, I've announced it before in the past, but there's always going to be new players coming in. There's going to be players that need their memories refreshed. This is what you need to look at with every player. What are your center backs going to need to do in general for most games? Of course, win aerial balls. Of course, you're going to need them to be great at tackling, right? Of course, some interceptions will help. And then any boost that helps not only this player, but other players, that is huge, okay? So this improves physical attributes, increased bonuses if at least one player with the skills on the pitch. Another one the same, right? Pillar, but that's physical. This is defending attributes. So I go in this order, right? I go in the order I told you with the Air King, then the Claimer, Interceptor, Strong Link, Pillar. Simple as that, right? The rest you can get as you go, right? You can figure out what you want. Maybe you want your CDM to be able to play wingback, or your center back to play wingback or CM, right? Well, first would be CDM. Maybe you'd want him to play CDM. Maybe you want, your center back to have better passing so you can win the ball and distribute it. Like, all these things can be added as you go, but the first most important thing with any center back, winning the ball in the air and on the ground, right? And then helping the team succeed. Simple as that. All right? So for both of these players, look at that. Amanami, again, was an exception. He was kind of an experiment player. Super fast. Not the biggest center back, but he has been doing phenomenal. I don't plan on having him leave the team anytime soon. It's just he's not a good example skill-wise. And you see stats-wise, too. What were we talking about skills-wise? We were talking about tackles. We were talking about heading, but in the terms of winning the ball in the air. So this lower heading doesn't necessarily matter as much. Okay? So you see Van de Ven, very low heading, but he can win the ball in the air big time. Why? Because that heading is more for scoring goals. You see, Van de Ven has a red, right, an ultra effect and boost for his heading, and then that's all that matters. Skill-wise, his heading's like okay, right, but what matters more is he's big, he's got the Air King attribute, and we're going to keep winning headers. But you do want to look at tackles and then interceptions, but more importantly than all, defensive positioning. Make sure the defensive positioning is high. If not, this is where your defenders are going to be leaving holes, right? So you have to make sure you're looking at these things. So first would be the tackles, then would be defensive positioning, then interceptions. Some would argue defensive positioning, then tackles. For me personally, I do a lot of manually pulling and pushing my defenders, so I can deal with a bit lower defensive positioning. It's just when I do get the chance, I want to know that I'm going to win the tackle. And if you notice, Van de Ven, he does have more of a range to operate in to win the ball, and I like that because it creates a skill gap, sort of. So I do like where FC's going with that, right? But anyway, so moving on. Center backs, wing backs done. CDMs, your actual number 6. Strongly suggest you operate with at least one CDM, right? Preferably 2, but at least 1. And what do you want to look at if you have 1 or 2? Well, first of all, no matter any formation you're in, this never changes. You need a true number 6, right? A true number 6, let's look at the attributes first on this one, would be the true... So one second, let me answer this in the chat real quick. Oh, and yes, there you are. Private message you, man. Go check your Discord real quick. I guess you've been taking a hiatus, but I'm glad you're on here, man. I've been trying to reach out to you, so I'm glad you're on. It's all about dominating and showing that these snake oil salesmen are just snake oil salesmen, that they don't know what they're talking about, and it's easy to get to the top if you follow certain steps. And so that's pretty much the journey that I'm on, which is what it's all about, the journey and taking other players to the top that want to reach the top. It's as simple as that. Okay, so getting back to it, for your true number 6, obviously the same as the center back defensively with the tackles, right? The heading becomes important sometimes, especially when marking defensively on corners, but not nearly as important. And obviously we don't look at necessarily the attribute heading. We look at the skill set. We look at Air King, which obviously, so Adams has that, not at all. But then tackles, super high, that's good. You want your CDM to be able to tackle the ball big time. And interceptions, another huge one, right? But defensive positioning, I would say, for the number 6 spot. Let me think about it. I would say yes. That's the answer. Yeah. I would say yes. Okay. So, getting back to it. So you want to make sure your CDM has great defensive positioning, right? You want to have that head start whenever you manually take over your CDM, that they're in a good defensive position to win the ball. Heading, it would be nice to have, but if not, so be it. You have your center backs that mainly are going up for aerial duels anyway, and that can be the main markers on corners. But then interceptions, huge. Tackles, huge for your number 6. So those 3 areas, defensive positioning, interception, tackles, make sure those are high, and then of course associate with the skills, right? Tackling, interceptions you see here. And then the big one here that I wanted to share with you, skill set wise, of course the passing. I'll go more into passing in a bit. You want to add those later, but way more important for number 6, tackling, interceptions, is strong link, okay? Improves defending attributes, and of course you have pillar, which improves physical attributes, which can help a number 6 too. So after you're done with the interceptions and the tackling for your number 6, your CDM. Get down, strong link pillar. Simple as that. Then you can add whatever you want. Position modifiers, right? Set pieces, raises the attacking positioning and stuff, even though your number 6 really shouldn't be involved with attack ever, right? If for some reason you're one of those players that doesn't play normal, then go for that, whatever. You get the idea, right? If you want to go for moves, go for moves. If you want to go for making your CDM be able to play other positions, go for it. But first and foremost, in the number 6 spot, interceptions, tackling, and then get down and help improve your other defenders and their physical and their defending attributes and their physical attributes, right? All right, cool, Owen. I'm glad. So then Benacer. So look at the cool parts about Benacer. First of all, he's a hidden gem. Check out, his overall rating is 80, so he's going to boost up big time. Check out these overall stats real quick. Well, I check this from Owen. So he's a beast all the way around, which is huge. He is a beast all around, right? So, as he builds up, he's a type of player that can be defensively sound, as you see, great tackling, decent interceptions that's just going to raise up, and good defensive positioning that's going to turn to great defensive positioning. But then, you look in the attack, and he has the ability with both dribbling and eventually shooting. Obviously, his finishing is extremely low. His attacking positioning is low. But that's fine. He's attacking from deep. He's attacking from the CDM spot. You don't need him to have amazing tackling positioning, right? So the biggest thing with the secondary CM is making sure they can win the ball and then they can distribute the ball, right? And Benacer can do both of those great. Skill set wise, for the more of a box-to-box / deep lying playmaker / your orchestrator in the eFootball terms, right? You want to make sure this player, as you see here, this strong link is on red, which is absolutely huge for the box-to-box. But it's the same thing outside of that, which is huge that Benacer comes with this. So check him out. He's a great player to have when you're looking at, if you're looking at like a box-to-box deep line playmaker type, player. But defensively, same thing with interceptions and tackling, right? Now, if I was a fraud, I would sit here and tell you guys, you need to look at these passing. I mean, it's awesome that Benacer has great, long passes, and then you need to work on the short passing and other, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's just the honest truth. Passing is so predetermined in eFootball in UFL. Probably in eFootball too, honestly. But it's so predetermined, right? Not scripted. I shouldn't say eFootball, because eFootball would be more like scripting, right? Because they don't have like the animation-based passing, player lock type passing. But UFL does, right? So when you make a pass, it automatically locks onto a player. Even if it's the other team's, defender, it locks on directly at a player. Okay? And so even if you have low passing, right? If you have great passing, okay, cool. Right? But even if you have lower passing, typically speaking, the pass is going to connect, right? And this is after many tests with this to see how important passing was. They said it was going to get better after these patches. Honestly, no way. You can go test it yourself, but that's where I feel. I'm just going to look at my deep line playmaker, similar to my number 6, except I want him, more agile, right? Having more the ability to dribble out of pressure to connect and be the bridge between the defense and the attack. But most importantly, most other players don't come with strong link. Make sure both strong link and pillar, you're getting that to help your defenders, right? Well, one's to help your defenders. The other is to help, it looks like, all the way around. Improves physical attributes. Increase bonus if at least one more player. So every like defensive player it's going to help who has this pillar on top of that. But they're only helping themselves. But the more players that have it, the more boost they give themselves. Whereas Strong Link, it's the same thing, right? Any players that have it are going to have their defending boosted, but they're going to boost others too. So I made the mistake. I was kind of explaining it more like when this player has this, he's not boosted, the other players around him are. No, if this player has this, both him and his teammates are going to have the improved defending attributes and the improved physical attributes, which is huge, right? The more players that have this, the further the boost, right? And that's just how it is. So I wish passing meant more. It just truly doesn't. You could put it to the test yourself, but that's my take. If for some reason you're just, nope, I want great passing on these central players, and of course, add that to your importance, right? It's as simple as that. Add these connector, and obviously the long ball being as high as it is the best you can get with Benacer, but add those to the importance of players having this as you look for them, as you look to add skills, right? It's just that simple. Now we move into our attack. We move into our attack. You have your two wing mids, your cam and your striker, or your two wing mids and your two strikers. The way that you want to look at it is this in the most simple form, right? For wingers, you want players that can dribble. That's the most important part. After that, you want players that can finish, because when you isolate the defenders, many times you're going to be cutting in and shooting yourself. That's one area where this Nico Williams card definitely needs improvement, right? He can still score them from certain areas, but you can tell the difference when up against like a top meta player and the way they just kind of finesse shoot the ball, and they finesse shoot the ball, or a regular type of shot that isn't nothing special, and the top meta players will score it, but players like Nico Williams won't. So great attacking positioning, right? Good finishing for now, nothing spectacular, but his dribbling is sensational, and his body type, he has a great body type, long legs, can sprint down the wing all day, and physically hold off opposition too. He's got the best of everything, except for we need to get that shooting boosted up, right? That's the most important part there. So dribbling, he has that for days, but obviously you could always use more. Crossing, same with the passing thing, not that important. I don't really care about that. And of course, one-touch shots, right, are huge. Since these wingers like this can't get snapshot, one-touch shot is their version of the snapshot, right? When you trigger this shot, it gives you a huge increase in your probability that you're actually going to score a goal. Period, right? So you're looking for that stuff out of your wingers. It's okay for set pieces, obviously, even though it's more for like corners, because, and you can absolutely, there is a difference between the lower rated corner taker and the higher rated one, honestly. I can tell the difference. Like the best on corner so far that I've seen in the entire game ever, Messi. He always has this ability, for whatever reason. I watched his cross 1,000 times, and Messi gives the best crosses for finishing the ball off. He just does. So in that sense, you can consider that passing and say clearly it makes a difference. Unless it's just Messi with that absolutely broken, player style, whatever it is. But I just wanted to point that out with regards to improving your set pieces. So obviously dribbling, among the most important things, okay? One-time shots for sure. Sledgehammer, that's a big one that a lot of players have, that I notice it helps them out. So you see it decreases the negative modifiers for accuracy when fully charging a shot, right? So what that means is whenever you fully charge a shot and take it, there's these negative, you have less of a chance to hit it on target, to hit it in the place you want. So this decreases that, aka it increases your chances to score when you fully power a shot. How could that not be a good thing, right? So that's what I would look at. It's kind of up to you per player, though. But you want to make sure in general that these wingers have amazing dribbling. That's 100% sure. Let me push this over. Let me see. You want to make sure they have great dribbling. So you see Pulisic is in 83, so he's going to get boosted, but already 91 dribbling, already 90 ball control, 89 agility, 89 composure. His reactions obviously need to be boosted, which they will, coming from 83. But overall, just a solid start for Pulisic, right? But both Pulisic and Nico, amazing on the ball, which is a very important part, if not the most important part, right? And then if I'm Pulisic, same thing, getting dribbling all the way up. I'm going to get my one-time shots, of course. I'm going to get my sledgehammer for when these guys do cut in and shoot, they have a better chance of scoring. Things like silky touch helps, right? Anybody in the attack receiving the ball looking to turn and go in, of course silky touch helps. You can just look through these and utilize the ones that help the wingers that you're playing with, right? But just to point out again for the millionth time, because it's that important, good dribblers on the wings, ready to take on the defenders they isolate, beat them, and either score or assist. Okay? Now Cam, an very important part of your team, because this player is going to be playing a traditional number 10, connecting the defense with the offense, but also this player is going to be playing a more secondary striker role at times, okay? That's what you need to be ready for. So, of course, skill set wise, you're going to look for shooting, right? You're going to look for any shooting increases you can, but you're also going to be looking for dribbling too. You're going to want your attacking midfielder to be ready to be on the ball and beat defenders. No different than the wingers, no different than your striker, right? And then, of course, the speed department in this area does matter. I would even stress that on the wings, it's not as important as some people think, right? The agility, for instance, a Messi, perfect winger for this meta. He can cut in and he can dominate, right? So make sure you get the dribbling high. Then, of course, the shooting, right, for both wingers and cams. But then the pace, typically speaking, I would say your secondary doesn't have to be as fast, which is true to an extent. However, these deep runs going in past the striker, many times unmarked, the faster the player is, the more likely they are to break away from the opposing defense. So make sure when you have lower rated players, you know, you're looking at these things, right? Because as they boost up, that's going to become your main guy. And you can see these right now. Kalpani, by the way, is one of those players that outplays, like when you feel how he plays on the pitch and the fact that he's everywhere, like he literally plays for the badge, but then he only has like these type of what do you call it, skill sets, right? He doesn't even have what do you call it, like defensively, the pressure he puts on, the amount of interceptions he gets, and then going right into playing great balls, scoring, assisting, everything. He doesn't have many things that like point out to him being good at that, but he is, right? So you just have to look at, so stat-wise, outside of just going and playing and seeing with your own two eyes, stat-wise, he's going to eventually have pretty good speed, not necessarily elite speed, but pretty good speed, you know, being only 81 when he gets to 91. The finishing isn't the greatest, but he's going to eventually have pretty respectable attacking positioning and long shots as well as shot power, right? And then the finishing will boost up as much as possible. Dribbling, pretty good, especially the ball control, composure area, which is extremely important, and it helps. His defensive positioning isn't good, even though he does get a ton of interceptions in the game for whatever reason. Now, a lot of it's manual positioning, too. I got to give myself credit, but some of it isn't. Some of it isn't. So you'll see that as I play more, but he's the one exception, that one player that I'm telling you guys that I was recommended, and I gave it a shot, and that is an A+ on that player choice, right? And so if you want him to stay, a player like this to stay in the team for the future, despite not really seeing with skills and stuff, and attributes, you can do so. I wanted to point that out. Don't get so enthralled in it to where you're going to get rid of a player that always performs well for you on the pitch because their stats don't add up. What matters most is they're performing on the pitch. Okay? So, similar, very similar to a striker and a winger when you're looking at skill sets as well as attributes. Last but not least, a striker has to have the speed. Has to have the speed. So you see here, Omega's only 82. He's eventually going to have the speed. 195, so he's a beast. So he's going to have those long legs, striding past defenders. Extremely strong. Obviously good in the air in a game where the bigger player has a good chance no matter what the skill set is. So Omega's always going to be an aerial threat. And then for a big guy, his dribbling is good. Now, I have said in the past, I'll say it again, his dribbling isn't as good as some of the more agile. Like, he's not, oh, it's just the same as having a more agile attacker. There are its bonuses to that, without a doubt, right? Hence why, for a bigger player like this, you want to give high dribbling, right? You absolutely want snapshot. You absolutely want one-time shots. Absolutely, without a doubt, on any of your strikers. That's a given, right? Same with the shooting stuff. Sledgehammer, yes, you must get Sledgehammer. The attacking positioning, right? Raises positioning and composure. That's huge. So there's a lot of skills that are must-haves, right? Going through dribbling, right? The positioning, composure during attacks. First touch, of course, is important. So you get a good first touch and turn, so you have more time, when deciding your next move or facing a defender and wanting to spin off him and shoot whatever it is, right? Then, of course, the other shooting ones, right? And if you want to add skill moves on top of it, just to increase them, I've never seen the point in getting any of these. Like I had Camavinga, for instance. If you go look, he has the roulette on an ultra effect. Go do the roulette with him a bunch of times. Right? Maybe you could see a slight difference. So. Alright, sorry, I was multitasking. So make sure you look for that for both your striker and your cam. Right? All the shooting attributes. Make sure your striker in particular has elite speed. Cam, it does help a lot because of their runs. They're going to be making a lot of runs up, right? However, Kopani's that one exception for me where the stats don't make sense, but how he performs is amazing. Mega, we're going to keep boosting the speed, keep getting him the shooting boost. Most importantly, snapshot and one-time shot first and foremost, but then we'll add things like sledgehammer. Of course, we have the low-driven shots, and of course, curling shots. At one time, curling shots would have been the most important, but I would say out of the shooting attributes, you want snap shooter, right? 100%, and then one shooter. But in the meantime, do what you can with what you have. Keep building up, keep winning, and you will be able to get better attackers. So as we boost these players up, I will show you them more and more. I just wanted to get into all this with you because it's extremely important to know what players you want, the skill set you want. Omega, I may trade out Omega for a more agile type of defender, right? So let me take a look real quick. One sec. So this will be to determine how long this stream is going to last. I've been kind of multitasking that I've been going, and let me tell you real quick, I think I got some good news. Alright, we're in there, boys. Alright, now that that's done, I can fully focus. Alright, so that's what you're looking at as you go. Now, the last thing I want to say about the striker part, and really the wingers, both Nico and Omega, mainly Omega though, is more the physical type of players. Now, Nico's more unique because he has such insane dribbling. It kind of offsets that bigger frame, that less like Pulisic, as well as like a Messi. These type of players are the ones who are going to be more shifty than ever. They don't even necessarily have to have the most elite speed, but those cuts left and right are going to be near impossible. The defenders are going to stop them sometimes, but it's going to be very, very difficult. And that's what Omega lacks, right? He has it in the strength department. If you get him if you get Omega shoulder to shoulder, most likely he's winning that battle. There's a few players that can knock him off sometimes, but when you get him in front of a defender, sometimes those cuts, because like the defensive system is so broken, right? You're still able to take a guy like Omega, even with lower dribbling, even not being as agile, and even lower rated, and still do damage, especially with the sensational way Omega plays. Just a player ID, I guess, right? Because if you look stat-wise, you see all the finishing. If you followed the channel, if not, you can look back. You see all the finishing. Look at this. It doesn't match. Sorry. It doesn't match 85 finishing. Like when you see him finish, it looks like 99 finishing, or at least 90. His attacking positioning, having it at 89, that's huge, right? Long shots, nada. His shot power, nada. But when you look at him in game, it looks like he hits bombs, and it looks like he has insane finishing and insane attacking position, which he has good attacking positioning for a lower rated player, but not the type of finishing that you see. So whatever it is, Omega's one of those guys. He's got the 5-5, right? And he scores goals. So that's all that matters. He's just lacking some in the dribbling type of department. So you have to look at that. Why I'm pointing this out is because it's so important as you move forward to start building up your players now. So when you get to those higher levels, your attackers or defenders or whoever will have those boosted up stats already. If you start too late and realize, man, Omega worked in the lower divisions, but I wish I had a more agile striker. Well, now, what are you going to go do? Go get that 82, 83 when everyone else is at 91? That would suck. You could do it, but it would be way better if you were smart enough now to recognize down the road when you boost these players up and you get in higher levels, things are going to change. So make sure you're noticing what problems you have now and think about them elevated tenfold, right? So I just wanted to point that out. Now we can get into the game. I can tell you last but not least, I'm going to keep boosting these up, right? Many I look to keep, some I look to keep but put on the bench as, subs. Amanami, we're going to see, but right now most likely we'll replace him, but for a higher rated player. So I'm not at that level yet. I don't need the higher rated players until I get all of my lower rated players boosted. The only reason I rushed out and got many of these lower rated players is so I could boost them right now and bring them up. The positions such as goalkeeper, right center back, and left back, those will be, pickups as we move forward, as we get closer to where, okay, one, we have the financial ability, the in-game financial ability, right? And then two, when we are ready for them based on where we're at, as we elevate, right? So the left back, keeper, and the center back position for sure will be changed, and the rest, we'll see. They could be in the team forever, right? They could end up as center backs, they could end up as starters, but okay. All right. So let me know if you have any questions, but hopefully that makes sense. Let me get back in here. Saba, always with the crazy troll stuff, bro. But you are hilarious, man. Excuse me. 1 second. Just one more thing, and then I'm totally focused on streaming, and we'll start playing. Grab a drink, grab whatever you want, and then strap in for the playing. Meanwhile, I'm going to send this message out real quick, then I'll be ready. Alright. Alrighty, here we go. Sorry I had to answer these. So I could stop getting sidetracked. But we are ready to grind away. We have all the players. Now you know what I'm looking for. As I move forward, you're looking for any new players that I might want. Right? You're looking for the positions I definitely want, which is left back, keeper, and right center back. At least a starter. Maybe maybe I just end up getting a backup CB. And Amanami keeps proving to be a beast like Kolpani, right? Where despite, not looking the part necessarily, they play amazing. We'll see. What's up, Ringtone? Good to see you. Let me silence this. Sorry, that's so annoying, guys. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, so that's what Owen was asking too. I said it at the beginning. I know it's okay. You guys can't hear everything or you missed it. So I'll explain it real quick. Don't mistake me playing this that UFL went and fixed the game. It's still absolutely broken in many ways. It's still the third best football game. All right, that's just the truth. But I'm seeing these other snake oil salesmen. I'm seeing the nonsense they're feeding players. I'm seeing they're not helping players at all with truth. It's more just like, oh, we got to keep them playing this game. I'm the only content creators English speaking in North America, or I'm the only English speaking content creator, or one of the only. So, I'm going to keep players playing this. So I can't point out that this is broken. I can't. It's a whole bunch of this snake oil salesman type of bull crap. When I'm just telling the truth, telling how you win, telling, like, for instance, how broken the defense is, allows you to use players like Omega, despite not having the best agility and dribbling and stuff like that, and still smoke defenders and utilize his great finishing. But that's only because the defensive jockeying system doesn't keep up with the attacking players. right? So you want good dribblers. When you use tactics, you want just anything that can isolate defenders, but also pull them out from the central area, right? All the way out wide right or left, for instance, so you can get more space to beat either defenders on the outside and come in and either score, assist, or pull the defenders out wide, pass it in the middle, and you have space, right? Either way, the defenders, the less help they have, the more likely you're going to burn them. Point blank, right? Defensively, even with the broken defense, a player like Van de Ven's going to win a lot more tackles, okay? So that there absolutely is, I guess you could call it player ID there, because a Van de Ven tackle, there's nothing like it, right? Even with like an Adams or a Benacer who have decent tackling, there's nothing like Van de Ven. He is a must-have for every single team, but other than that, and even him sometimes, telling the truth about defending not being football skill related. Like, you're not talking about jockeying and anticipating until you're literally talking about you have to essentially like run into the player and get the ball. They don't have enough defensive animations, but how you do that, you try to make sure you have other defenders or at least one other defender around you, right? That's how you win the ball, and you make sure when you do commit to a tackle, you're not just diving in. You know you're going to run through and win it. Too many players try to get the ball, they run through and with it, end up scoring, right? So no doubt you're going to miss tackles like that sometimes because no one's perfect and it's tough defensively. But if you take these principles and understand where the game's broken, you can do well. Knowing to watch when your opponent has the ball in the central midfield area, right? Because they're going to pull up and hit that long through ball and hopefully hit their target, which they haven't yet. It's a good thing, right? So, with that being said, let's get into it. OG, if I followed you since. Yeah, I appreciate it, ringtone. But yeah, that's pretty much why I'm in here is because I've always spoke the truth despite, any risk of followers or subscribers leaving or people who watch the videos, whatever. Because sometimes when you say like the truth, for some reason, it's like a phenomenon. People have this crazy thing where, and we have Showdown too, by the way. People have this crazy thing where they almost take it personal when you speak the truth about the game, right? And players know this, these other players know this, and so they sugarcoat, they ignore issues. It's just craziness. But yeah. And appreciate your support, ringtone, for sure. For sure. I know you don't got the OGFC badge, but when I see ringtone, I know you're there. Yeah, I know. I know it's very obvious too. Not only that, but there's some that share the ratty shit that's ruining the game instead of speaking out against it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that going around in both eFootball and UFL, and they wonder why they're always in second place. Because even a game like FC, you got to admit, as bad as it can be, look at who has had the only huge game-changing patch lately. That was FC 25, and they had two really big patches. Whereas the other two games, still struggling along. Alright, let's get into it. Right into Showdown. I'm going to attempt something here and see if it works. So hopefully those details help you get into my mind a little bit of how I look at adding players and how I play, the skills that I'm going for. Trying to boost your players as much as possible with those skill assets while adding the most important ones for each position, and understanding that unfortunately, on paper, passing can be high, low, whatever it is, but unfortunately the case is passing players are players with that elite ability. It's just not worth it right now. Meaning there's not enough evidence that it helps you enough, right, to make it worth it. But there's other areas where that can be made up for. Early morning showdown. This is the alarming part. This is where I have to be honest, guys. This isn't cool. You know? This part isn't cool. It's the summertime for many of the college level players out there across the world, right? For some, it's nighttime. It's certain areas. It's day, you know. And I'm not saying I'm going to play players all the way out there. I'm just saying. Keeps me frustrated. Has anybody here started their journey yet on Showdown? And I strongly recommend that you watch. You know what? Let me get that real quick, guys. I'm sorry. It'll take me 2 seconds. Strongly recommend that you guys keep track and watch my updated content for let me see here. For the flashback videos I'm doing for Daily Grind. It shows you where this game's come along the way. It shows you the different areas where the game was great, where the glitches started coming in. And one of these content creators in particular, Dagger, you'll see throughout all these daily grinds, my journey from the beginning, I've been beating him, schooling him, whatever you want to call it, from the start. And every single time I play him, he's the player that's introducing new glitches to the game, two different players, because he is the first player. And you notice at the beginning, before I even know has a channel, Dagger, that every time I beat him, he has a new glitch. He might give me one game with it. Once I learn it, I see how to defend it, and then I start smoking him again. But it's like clockwork. So if you look overall, I beat him like over 100 times. He's maybe beat me 5, 6, 8. That's it in total. And every time he rats away and introduces the crap that has been killing the game, right? Because if these type of players never use it, if a content creator doesn't share it, no matter how much the following, the intent there is obviously knowing you're going to ruin the game. Because if you don't share this stuff, surely as a content creator, less people know about it. If I go into this game and show you some glitch where my goalkeeper can punt the ball and score, I'm no doubt going to add in a ton of players that now know and that will now abuse this. If I know about it and never point it out, now my thing is once it's in the game and it's already spread, then showing players so they can better defend it is much different, right? It's much, much different. Let me check something real quick. All right. Daily Grind episode 3. All right, perfect. All right. Boom. 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 Done. Gonna get a treat for you guys going that I almost forgot. Hold on. One second. Exterminating the first of many rats. Exterminating. This is when the game started turning for the worse, thanks to these type of players. So make sure you check this out. It really puts a perspective on where players' responsibility came in for taking this game what it was originally, a wide open, fun game where you could use any tactic and play football and win, to a game where you use exploits and nonsense to win. Because you got to remember, before any patch was even talked about, many of these glitches were discovered, and it happens in every game, but certain people you hold to a standard, and people who share content, claim to be for the betterment of the game, who always talk positively about the game for the most part, but then start releasing things that are in detriment to the game, that will hurt the game. That's con man snake oil BS. And I'm glad I have all of it on video for you guys to see for yourselves. Let the facts do the talking. Let the matches do the talking. So make sure you keep up to date with this, because a lot of this shows why we are where we are today in UFL. So I was so excited to start streaming. I hadn't put that out, so that's why I'm getting that out now. So what these videos do, and I'll start making more of these as we go, but they showcase my sessions, right, as I climb. And why it's good to see is because you see what works, for one, as I climb to the top rankings in the world. You see how my team transitions. You see when I start needing to transition my team. All of that has stayed the same. The game's just gotten more and more glitchy. And to be a top player now, more than ever, you have to understand and combat those glitchy, ratty exploits, right? That's the biggest thing. Alright, one sec. Perfect. Alright. I'll be in chat shortly, and then we'll start these games shortly. Just want to get this out to the people who want to take the time to watch it, who aren't on stream, who want to watch it later, so it's out there. New strikers. Perfect. All right. And that will be on its way here shortly. Well, hopefully. There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's look for a game as this gets going. YouTube can act up sometimes, so sometimes I gotta watch it. Alright, we got ourselves a match, boys. First match in Showdown. Kyoka Shinhai. I like the name. The name's pretty sick. Like that kit there, too. I'll be in chat here shortly. Just gotta keep an eye on this. There we go. Perfect. We've already seen this. Kind of a weak animation compared to the St. Patty's Day, I must say. Alright, I gotta get my UFL brain flowing. Get ready for this type of defense, right? Early morning mistakes. Defense is on point right off the bat, though. Perfect. See if this works. Yep, perfect. I was going to say, it looked like I had the space there. Aye. Oh, perfect. Oh. So you can't do those realistic type of layoffs, unfortunately. Good. You're through. Yep. Oh, come on. That's where Omega struggles a bit. Oh, he plays a broken through ball, of course. Alright, let me sit. Let me get set up for this. This player just declared rat war on me. He just declared rat war, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. It's on. Freaking Kyoka, you're a rat loser. You're a rat loser. Fully meta rat loser. That's alright. We know what to expect with many players in this game. You're in. Ah. Nice try, Punk. I knew what you were going for the whole time. Goal. Yes, what a finish. Guys, what did I tell you about Kopani? The stats don't do him justice. If you notice, that was like not one of the glitch angles. That wasn't like dribble in and get the perfect. I mean, look at this, boys. Look at this. That was a beautiful finish. That was as skilled as it comes. Point blank. That was as skilled as it comes. Yeah, watch that and love it, Punk. Watch that and love it. Kopani's a beast. Shout out to whoever recommended Kopani. It's on stream, by the way, so it's like eventually I'll be able to give these players credit. This player is nothing but glitches. He's trying to like trigger this, trigger that, instead of just playing football and letting his chances come naturally. But I love it. Those type of players, I love playing them. Beautiful freaking time ball, perfect. Because his mind's only in thinking he has to create chances in certain ways instead of just playing open football. I shouldn't have done that. Try to do that big touch. Oh, good. I need to make an adjustment defensively as well. Beautiful ball. There it is. Oh no, I should have took my time, guys. Should have made him pay for his mistake. See, he wouldn't play it because he wasn't at the glitch angle. See what I mean? He had that open ball. Wouldn't play because he wasn't at the glitch angle. Perfect. Yes, beautiful ball. Goal. Oh, get in. Oh. We're knocking, boys. I love it. And think about it. We still have our lower rated squad, too. There it is. Get in. What a goal. He thought about pulling his goalie out, and that was the death of him. Heck yeah, boys. Watch what he does. Watch the mistake he makes. If he just let it play out, if he had more trust in his keeper, if he had cat play, right, which helps in these instances. Lunen's a good goalie, too. You got to trust in your goalie. It might look like they're not going to score. I love how the players all have that fire, whatever, showing, whether it's a light or whatever it is. It's sick. But that little fire thing in the crowd after you score is sick. Or it might be at all times. Look, now let's see how Pulisic does. No L1, R2. Oh, and that cost us. I probably should have used it. Oh, crap. Perfect defending. No way. Good, because he didn't deserve that. That was literally damn near perfect defending. But they lack the animations there to help players out. You get what I'm saying, guys? They lack the animations. When you go in for that tackle and you're locked on, that's where the other games will lock you on. Because realistically, you're not going to go after the ball as it's moving. It's constantly moving. And then just keep tackling in the same direction. Right? And miss by, a foot, a couple inches, whatever. Right? Once you commit and you can see the ball's open, you're going to win it. You're going to be Hawkeye laser-eyed onto that. You're going to win the ball. So that's where you have those instances. If you remember, like it's the same as a player's dribbling. You're coming from an angle, and you time your tackle just about perfect, but the ball barely skims past your foot. You run through. The player taking the big touch then runs through, and then they get on, on goal, and you actually time the tackle perfectly. It was just like that lack of a defensive type of system at all, to where you're more just running and hoping you run in a direction where you run through the ball and get it. They need to change that big time. Oh, should have played lob through ball. Beautiful ball. Beautiful football, boys. I know it seems like I might have put... Oh, no, I thought he was going to anticipate it the right way, but he didn't. Big mistakes by me, guys. Big mistakes. Good. 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 Come on, beast it through. If you play those balls at the perfect angle, see how he's doing the glitch through ball? If you play those balls like perfectly timed where your attacker meets it, they'll do this almost like speed burst around the defender. So watch this. Boom! Oh, he got just ahead. Good D. This player is a worthy opponent. Go, you're in. Oh my gosh. See how it wasn't a glitch through ball? See how like it was like almost like a 50-50. The glitch ones you know because your player, the defender won't see how he's defending me. The defender will run in behind him. That's the glitch part of it. Terrible shot by Kopani there. But the player will run in behind it. That's how you know it's a glitch. Once you see your defender run in behind and you can't switch players, look at that. See that skill? It's all in the timing. It was all in the timing. If I don't time that right, I'm screwed. Like, see how he's getting the smoke there? That's why. Now, he came back and recovered, which is what you're supposed to do, so he did good there. But initially, he got smoked. Similar to right here, how I got smoked but then recovered. As long as you're keeping him away from getting chances on goal, you're doing your part. Boom. Boom. Beautiful. Look at this. That's football, boys. Damn unlucky. As Pulisic rises up, he'll be able... What? I was going to say... Ah, good coverage by him. Go ahead. You can have the corner all you want, buddy. See the coverage I have? See the coverage I have? And I added 2 defenders there. See what I'm saying? You just got to know it. Know how to defend the right way. I have 2 defenders there. I'm making sure I'm covered. So once I commit, it's less risk than if I have one player. If he gets by me, with how hard it is, it's tough. If he gets by me, it's going to be tough to... Okay. The build-up is real, boys. I don't know. He's got a fully boosted up team, I can tell by the speed. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the perfect spacing in the 4-2-3-1 wide, and that is largely due to the tactical setup. Largely due to the tactical setup. Alright, we're almost there releasing the video, which I'm excited about. I'm so glad you guys get to watch this journey, because a lot of you guys weren't with me during the initial grind to the top rankings in the world. Now you get to see it fresh, ask any questions you might have, see the setup I used. You get to see the different glitches. You get to see where we thought L1 triangle, the long switch with the L1 square lob cross, when we thought that was just a little glitch, like, oh, it's just a stupid part of the game. You know, they're going to take it out. They're going to take it out soon. Little did we know when they took out the big L1 triangle cross and the L1 square lob glitch, they didn't really. They pretty much brought worse stuff into the game. All right, perfect. Completing a check. Perfect. All right, what's up, Gordon? Valley, much appreciated. Yeah, Ringtone, the smart assist stuff is crazy. But that's cool you're playing, dude. As long as everyone's enjoying their football games, I'm just going to be out here enjoying and playing too, but and sharing with you guys and sharing with the world what needs to improve. Simple as that. It's not a dig at any in particular game. It's not when I play one game, it doesn't mean the other two suck. They all suck in different ways, and they're all good in different ways. And we don't owe these companies to lie for them and say they're good. We as content creators don't owe any of these development companies to lie and say they're good with the hopes of what? That they give us a early look at the game, you know? Don't be a sellout. Stay real, stay true, play real football. It's not worth competing in anything and going to win if you're not going to play, if you're going to play like a little sissy boy. Sissy boys are people who are too scared to actually compete, and so they take shortcuts. They're too scared to create chances on their own, so they go for glitches. Too scared. They lose so much they come to a football game to do a bunch of nonsense to not play football and win like it means something. Play football. Hold it by a deluxe. $1,000 for deluxe, and what could I get? Oh, I already got the deluxe. Wait, no, I don't. Oh, I'd get plus 1,400. $1,400 so I could go buy pretty much everything that's out so far I could buy. And then we still have today's the 6th. 19th. The 12th they show us this big reward. I wonder what it is, guys. What do you guys think it's going to be? Well, part of that was getting the team pass. But yeah, here's how much I've been playing. Well, it only goes back that far, but that's what we want to see all the way up, baby. You're going to hit your patches, though. You're going to hit the reds in there. Don't be discouraged by it if you hit the reds. All right. I'm thinking about putting that in. I'm thinking about going right now and putting a little bit of Cash Money Records allow this game. One sec. Hmm. Again, if you need. One second, boys. Sorry. Let me see this. Let me know some upgrades you see. I love this Benacer card big time. Obviously Van de Ven. I've been loving this Ominami. We know Dumfries is a beast. This Pulisic is good. It's lacking some pace right now, but he'll get there. Kind of like a Messi, poor version of Messi. Nico, beast, even with the lack of pace, big long strides, great on the ball, good bigger body frame. So his body type's not typical of a great dribbler, but the elite dribbling makes up for it. And a mega brilliant finisher sometimes can be a little stiff, but makes up for it with that 5-5 beastly finishing. All right. Let's do it. So let's put in Yep, only one game in Showdown, Yenix, and I outplayed the opponent. It was 70-30 in possession, like 8 shots to 2, and he got 2 goals on 2 glitch through balls. And that's what made me go, see ya. But then I keep seeing all these snake oil salesmen and shit, and it's just like, dude, I'm going to cover this game the right way, share the truth, and help get players pushed up the rankings just to show I'm the king of UFL. And you guys can be kings along with me. Period. It's just the truth. All right. This game, more than anything, if you follow certain steps, you can be top ranked in the world. Period. Let's get to the store. $76 mil. So let's see who we'd want to get. Definitely want left back, goalkeeper, center back. Left back, goalkeeper, center back. And another striker. But left back, I can wait on my center back. I'll show you why. Library. Library. Long shots and attacking positioning. I like this Jude. I like this Van Dijk. Maybe eventually. I like Martinez. I've used this skin before. Sick finishing upgrade there. But I really like boosting a mega. And I don't know if it's worth it to get Martinez over him. Modric as a box to box. Hold on. But I like Adams and Benacer. So left back, center back, and goalie. So using this Van Dijk could be huge. I'm pretty sure that's who I'm going to go for eventually. So I have time for him. So that leaves a left back and a keeper. I got this with Mendy. Not the biggest increase, but it's an increase enough. Right? So these aren't the best skins ever, but I like this for my striker. I got to get some of these skins. This tacticker, I got to get more of these tacticker skins. So Van Dijk down the road, Mendy. I'm going Mindy this time over Udogi. For sure. So Mindy will run me 82. So I need around 60 mil for him. And then goalkeeper-wise, I'm going Bono, who's 79 mil. So 60 and 80 is 140 mil. I need like 140 mil to get my left back and keeper, who are both in the 84 category. Mindy 84, goalkeeper 84. And then another striker, but more of a dribbling striker. More of a dribbling striker. Doesn't necessarily have to be a beast. I remember Haller was a beast in the air back in the day. Malfi, fast, big, not the greatest dribbling, great composure. Kind of a poor man's Holland, if you will. And Ketty is more that dribbling type of striker. So if I look at pure dribblers, alright, we'll start like right here. Pure dribbling. Wow, Xerxes. Xerxes with the good dribbling. Samu, remember I had Samu's big ass? Look at him. 193 centimeters. He was a beast. So if I wanted to stay similar to... He's not exactly the striker I was, thinking about. But Samu wouldn't be a bad, little substitute striker. Oh, Mbappe's a beast. He's always going to be a beast. For sure. Let's keep going. Mbappe's always going to be a beast, for sure. He's trying to get a match. He's trying to get a match. So yeah, we're definitely going for Mbappe eventually. But I like Mbappe more as a winger. Maybe even a cam, bro. Just because passing's not important to have high passing stats. You can still complete the passes you want. And at cam, he could run at players all over the place. As you can see, Michael Pani, he's all over the place. Mbappe doesn't suck. He's definitely not. He's definitely finding life outside of Francois Léon hard. Francois Léon was very easy for Kylian. But he doesn't suck. You don't make me high anymore. Perfect. 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 Okay, here we go. Grinding. Ooh, I found a typo in the thumbnail? Man, that's what I get, boy. Luckily, I caught it. Edit. Oh, no, wait. Oh, it just looks like that. No shit. Alright, please go check out my video. It'd be much appreciated, man. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Well, if you're not subscribed, well, please subscribe to the channel. But give the video a like, comment something in it. Let me know what you think of it, dude. I'm telling you, this is good stuff. Check it out. You see the raw beginnings. 5 months ago, boys. That's all it's been. 5 months. The more you guys click through it, the more it gets out. It would be much appreciated, man. Truly. We're just a small channel trying to spread the word of the good gospel of football. From the Book of OG, a historical look at how UFL came to be. You see? And it would be great if you clicked on it and viewed and seen for yourself. I mean, that's not a terrible assessment, bro. I'm not saying... I think that's a pretty good assessment. Fun fact. Fun fact. Tell me if you agree with this. Pulisic, if he was given the chance in Chelsea, would be as dominant, right, in the Premier League right now, if he was still in there, as like a Mo Salah. Watch him play and tell me I'm out onto something. He is an absolute monster of a man. He single-handedly takes games over for AC Milan, a historically rich club full of superstars. And yet the American stands out amongst all of the superstars. A player that was many times denied and finally accepted into Serie A, where he's become AC Milan's hero, their knight in shining armor, and he could have been the knight in shining armor. Period. No way, Yenix. He's playing amazing at Ace at Milan. Absolutely incredible. The American maestro is playing amazing in Italy. If given the chance in Chelsea, if he didn't go to such a shite club full of so much dysfunction, he might have already been a legend in Premier League. We might have never heard Pulisic in AC Milan or Pulisic in Serie A. Truly, that's how I think. I think his footage backs it up too, mate. But I apologize because my British accent seems to be coming out now. Every time I play English football, as we call it here in the States, my British accent seems to take over. I also think thanks to Boomfa can speak New Zealand, mate. You want a shrimp on the barbie? I know that's Australian, but what's the difference really? Australia, rugby, New Zealand, rugby. Australia, sharks, New Zealand, sharks. Australia, kangaroos, New Zealand, kangaroos. Which are basically overgrown rats with pouches. Any day now, motherfuckers. Any day now. Come on, man. This is showdown, boys. This game is going down, down. They're going downtown. We're going down, down in an earlier round. Sugar, we're going down, swinging. It's a loaded God complex. Tuck it and pull it. You guys know the words of that song? Classic song, or are you guys too young? We're going down, down in an earlier round. Sugar, we're going down, swinging. You got a loaded gun complex. Cock it and pull it. Something like that. Crazy lyrics. But I used to just know, like, I used to think it was, we're going down, down. And I don't know the words. But sugar, we're going down, swinging. That's another man with a bullet. You got a loaded gun complex. Cock it and pull it. Now I just know the regular words, so it's hard to think of how I used to think it. Boomfa, straight out of Australia. I mean, straight out of New Zealand, mate. Go All Blacks. All Blacks are life, mate. Rugby it is. This football has nothing on rugby. If you don't know the All Blacks, then what do you know, mate? I know, bro. FC's been really fun, man. FC's been fun. But nothing beats the waiting screen of UFL. Like, every time I play UFL, I can't wait for moments like this, bro. Just 10, 20, 30 minutes just watching this beautiful. Look at these, like, look at the technology. Look at the graphics on this loading screen. I mean, as the white dots come over, or the white lines come over the red pitch, and the minutes just count up, showing you the exact amount of time you've wasted doing absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. I got a loaded gun complex, I'm getting bullet. Any day now, any day now, any day now, any day now. What do you guys think this is all about? Yep, 100% Boomfa. I told you, bro. I'm hip to it. When I put you on shit, it's because it's the real deal. I'm not just bullshitting. It makes it hard to go back to eFootball to play their stupid little challenges for nothing. Alright, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait, and really around. Damn, folks. We'll go to 2 minutes, and then if we have to, we'll go start playing ranked. We got a loaded guy come black, Hunker and Porter. Any day, any day. What do you guys think is up with this? How is this possible? I mean, how is this possible? don't get it. I got a loaded gun complex. I can pull it. Unbelievable. Come on, man. There's got to be somebody playing. Somebody in the world is playing this game. I know it. Man, I forgot about this. I've been so spoiled with instant games and eFootball and FC. It made me forget just how bad it sucks waiting in UFL for minutes on end. Surely I won't get to 4 minutes. Surely. Mm-hmm. No, you need consumables. Or wait, I think you put him in reserves. Put him in reserves for the amount of matches he's hurt. You try. Let me think about that. I forgot. But it is crazy starting a new account when you don't have a million of those. Because I always had so many, I could just put them in there. But when you do start a new, because I had that problem too. I think when you put them in reserves, but I could be wrong, you might need to put a consumable on them. But again, I'm not positive. Alright, we'll see when it widens the search what happens. Alright, we're in our extended search. Increased priority. This is a big problem, guys. It doesn't matter what time it is, because you can go play the other 2 football games and get an instant game. Somebody came on the stream the other day. He was a total clown. He was one of those people that got mad when I just said the truth, and I was saying, like, this is ridiculous. He's like, well, I get in a game in 10 seconds. Okay, well, good for you, motherfucker. I'm not. I'm just going off my experience. If everybody in the world gets a game in 10 seconds, truly, and I'm the only one who doesn't, then so be it. Then that's great. I just have a feeling that how can I put this in the best way? I have a feeling that this is a signal of more than what we're thinking. I think that this shows, if you even look online at my watch my videos, the throwback ones, watch how quickly. Now, I will say at the beginning, it kind of hit this, it was this period where it was constantly the same players over and over, then went to a bit of a lull. Come on. Alright, that's it. No showdown for now, guys. Sorry. Look at that. Instant. So do you think people just aren't playing showdown because it's like, you know what I mean? Like bad rewards or something? Oh, we gotta play Mbappe. This is jolly. He seems like a rat just from his lazy name. He seems like a rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. He ain't gonna play me either, is he? Yep, we're in there like swimwear. We're in there like swimwear. Shout out to the customization, though. They have brilliant customization. Alright, a very good team, as you see. Crestovigli. Castrovigli. Kubosii. A pay to win team in UFL, but that's okay because we're going to beat them anyway. Ooh. Alright, let's go. Right at him. Look at that, boys. That's how you play football. Oh, come on. A little bit quicker. But you see that sharpness of my first pass, bro? Oh, if he didn't shield that. What the fuck was that? Oh, I went for some creative. Tried to create some real football out of that. That would have been sick. Is he aware I'm going to whoop his ass or something? Why is he playing like this? Excuse me. Excuse me for the frog in my throat, mother truckers. Good D. Oh, no way. See, Van de Ven's just that guy, guys. Van de Ven's just that guy. Look at this. Bravo. Bravo. Bravo, Martini. Good. Yes. That's what I'm telling you guys. Omega is a beast. I think we should affectionately call him Mega Man. Mega Man. You know what I'm saying, fellers? Guys, I'm talking to you. Answer me. Do you know what I'm saying? God damn it. Answer me. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Jokes. 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 Jokes, bro. Ooh, there's some big UFC fights this weekend, too. I can't wait. Big Sean O'Malley's fighting. Merab, fight number 2. Cannot wait. Tomorrow night. UFC. Live on pay-per-view. Maybe we'll do like a stream and play some games while we kind of watch. But don't watch on bootleg. If you go to that stupid stream called Crack Streams and watch on bootleg, bro, it's illegal. So make sure you just pay the 60, 70, whatever it is, bucks, and do not go to crackstreams.io, I think it is, or just look up, don't just go look up Crack Streams to get bootleg sporting events, whether it's Champions League or UFC pay-per-views or whatever. We don't condone illegal acts on this channel, so just make sure if you watch the fights, you order them legally. Goal. No way, puta madre. What in the cuckoo chain of Bane was that? Bravo, bravo, what a ball, Martini. Come on, man. What in the hell? You're chooch. Bravo. Don't be just spamming shit against me, bro. You think this is one of these, like, who do you think I am? You can't be just spamming against me. Come on, Pule Pule. Good Pule Pule. Good Pule Pule. Nope. The timing's off on that through ball. Timing was right, I would have played it. Oh, foul. Penalty, thank you. I did a L1 to an explosion with R2. I'm cooking, baby. I'm cooking. I'm back. I can feel it. I'm UFL ready, boys. Like, it don't matter. Bring them all on. Bring on the ratty bullshit. I'm back. The king is back. Follow me to the top, I'm telling you. Too little. Damn it, too little. If that was 3 bars, guys, that's a goal by Kopani. I'm going down, down in an earlier round. Sugar, we're going down swinging. There it is, goal. You're welcome. Oh, peccato mater. Peccato mater. Piscato mater. Piscate mater. Come on. There it is. Oh, boys, boys, boys. Welcome to the main event of the evening. Fighting out of the red corner. Standing at 7 foot with a 10-inch dick. It's OG Gamester. And fighting in the blue corner. Standing at 1 foot. Holy shit, that was dope. That dragon was dope. But he ruined my main event intro, bro. I was just about to say the 1 foot tall, 1 inch, you know what, rats. 1 inch pectoral region. Not pectoral region. Penitorial region. That's what they say. Rats are compensating for that. Which, by the way, I'm not one of those people because, you know, you can't make fun of people for something God gifted or didn't gift, you know? But you can politely bring it up to them and say, hey, sucks to be you, you know what I mean? Oh! Sucks to be a little peen rat loser. Because we're up here dominating with that big D energy, boys. Up at the top, dominating. Just over here, just sitting, playing video games, just hanging and banging. Unloaded God complex, cock it and pull it. Beautiful stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having an absolute blast. I'm trying to create good football, and I feel like that initial through ball that I played right off the kickoff, like some of my ideas are coming off. Some of my beautiful dribbling. Doing it with these lower rated boss boys that are going to turn to boss men eventually. While I watch my Mbappe Latin pay to play opponent with Tomori and Lopez and who the fuck is Lopez and whoever else he has. I gotta start watching the intros and seeing the teams I'm playing against. That's my biggest downfall, bro. I can't just watch the intros. I get all excited and skip them and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy how I can't watch the intros and show you guys my opponents. Because I know it's helpful so you guys know whose ass I'm kicking, you know? A loaded gun come. What the f was that, Kolpani? I mean, bro. If that shot was a vagina, that would be a huge vagina. Alright, let's go. Come on. Don't ask me how that makes sense, bro. Just... Oh my god, see what I'm saying? Dude, guys, I'm telling you, the king is back. That is a goal for all of eternity. That is a goal for all of eternity. I'm saving it right now. Upload to PlayStation app. Upload to PlayStation app. Upload. Upload. Look at this, boys. Tell me that's not skill. Oh, you can't see it. Come on, click back in. Tell me that's not skill. I had to upload it. That's why I cut out the screen. Kolpani. That's why I tell you boys to use. That's why I tell you boys to use a cam that makes those runs past the striker because they're harder to mark. But did you see that? Notice who played that ball. Don't need great passing. You just need great vision and great skill. Did you see that goal? Did you see it? Can you dig it? That was skill and domination and skill plus domination. Bro, I'm not going to lie, bro. That felt pretty good. That gave me that eFootball feel a little bit. That eFootball, like true football accomplishment feeling. That was sick. I mean, if we're not... Oh, I just tried to do player lock, dude. Jesus. Walks. Jesus walks, but... God damn, man. That was terrible. For real, though, you guys rate that goal 1 to 10, be honest. I give it a 9. I give it a 9. I think it was super creative. I think the fact that I played that dink ball perfectly for the perfect volley. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, man, that was awesome. You gotta love the football and e-football. Loaded gun complex, cocky and opponent. I need to pay attention. I'm not paying attention. Stoopy me. Look at what I was doing, guys. I literally wasn't even playing. That's what I get. Beautiful ball, beautiful goal by my opponent, though. You can't take it away from him. Look at my defense, though. I wasn't even defending. Maybe I did start doing something on the side. Maybe I didn't, though. Maybe I just totally was trying to throw him off by not moving my defenders at all and giving him a glimpse back into this game. Maybe I wanted to do that to make it interesting. Maybe I wanted to see my dragon dog fly over the stadium. Why does he fly over the stadium for both teams? He should only do it for the home squad. Dude, what if they had your choice of animals and we would make the rats like fly over the stadium for the rats? Just eating a little piece of cheese, all happy that they got to nibble off of the skill set of others. Ho ho ho! Golazo! So, finesse shots all the way powered up. Beast boy. Check her out, mate. Check her out now. Ooh, ooh. Fully powered finesser. Inside the box. Outside of the wait times, bro, this game has been a blast. Good D. Bravo. Let me see if I can get another worm, Bernie. See if I can get another burn the worm. Not burn the worm, but like low shot from inside. That would be sick. Yeah, low drivens are nerfed like a motherfucker, dude. That was inside the box. What the... And another one. And another one. And another one. And another one. Go check out the new video I just dropped. My original journey to the top. You could see what was, what will be. From the beautiful UFL in the history of the original Gamester. All in one high definition video. Only the best editing for the best community. No, for real, I am getting a laptop soon, and I cannot wait. Your boy had to save up for it. I've been doing this from the mud, doing all this from the mud, and I got a lapper coming. I actually got it gifted to me, so shout out. You know who you are. Pretty nice laptop. Not like the best, but I don't need that, bro. You know, I'm very humble. You know, I don't come from a ton of money, but I invest in this channel because I know that it's worth it because of you guys. Period. Alright, so big league win. Took us straight to, I think we got promoted. Ooh, we're at the top of bronze. We are the nation of domination. And we're going to keep dominating all the way to premier #1 in the world. Mark my words. I've done it before. I'm going to do it again. Alright, let's open up some skins, bros. Let's see what we got, man. This could be pretty cool. Oh, let me make sure you guys are just being quiet and my chat didn't freeze, because sometimes it does. Nope. Ali, by the way, if I didn't say what's up, bro, what's up, dog? I meant to say what's up. Oh, wow, Messi, Lionel, Messi, Leo, Messi, hey, Messi now. We're not going to get Modric. We're not going to get Ter Stegen. We're not going to get Dembélé. We're not going to get Rice-easy. We might get some of these. We'll see easy. Alright, so... Damn, son, where'd you find this? Just one. Let's get rid of some of these fuckers. Let's get rid of some of these. You only need one goalkeeper one, bro. Like, come on, man. Get rid of your duplies. Get rid of your dupes. The loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. $770. Let's be honest, are we really gonna get... We're going down in an earlier round. Tacticker. Let me think of some of these. Let me look. Hold on. Scoring. I kind of like scoring. I don't like the roar really. Roar. It's like really roar. But Polaris, yes, I like those. Peace. I don't like these peace ones. These peace ones can go. Just in case, I'll keep the legendaries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm not getting Berardi for a fact. You know what I mean? I might get Messi. I love Messi. When you guys watch those videos, you'll see, like, on my way to the top, Messi was a key dog in the fight. You feel me? Messi was that dog in the fight. You feel me? Guimaraes. We know we ain't getting Guimaraes. Do we know we ain't getting Gimaresh? Alright, we'll wait. Challenges. Game changer spec. Score the indicated number of header goals. So we need 2 more header goals for that challenge pack. That's a weekly one, okay? Stop it. I need 980. Okay, so I can unlock this. I'm going to get 1,000. I'm going to go get 1,000 and get that, boys. I just feel like it. I feel like we should celebrate and get it. You know what I mean? And then do 50 million too. But is it worth it to get 2,000 LP? I don't think it is. I think we just get a little 1,000, you know? Let's see if there's any giveaways. Let's see if there's any like cool packs right now. Like, hey UFL, you want my money? Cool. What are you gonna give me for it, you little shitheads? You want my money, bros? What you gonna give me for it, you fuckers? Give me some good stuff, man. Yeah, and there's not many good deals around here, is there? Oh, the old Grand Pack, 110 bucks. Looks amazing. Ooh, 21.50. Oh, only 26 bucks for that? Oh, I already knew about that. I saw that in there. This is a story all about how my life got turned upside down, but I'd like to take a minute and sit right there and tell you how I became the king of a game called UFL. Sorry guys, I'm looking at how much money I want to totally just burn up in this game. 32 bucks. What do I get for 32, bro? You tell me what I get for 32, bro. What do I get for 32? The Grand, Unique, and Super. Grand, Unique, and Super. Hold on. Game Changers. Unique card skin of a player with a rating of 85 plus is guaranteed with 9. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Alright, I'm going to go with the 10 piece. Let's just do it. Let's just get this over with. No! No! Guys, I forgot. My kids don't have anything to eat. If you could just send me some money so I could feed my family, I totally just screwed myself. I totally just slipped my mind that I have people to feed. I'm kidding with them. That's my daughter. She thinks I'm serious. You guys know I'm trolling. She literally is like, what are you talking about? That was hilarious. Dad. Alright, so let's go get this extra team pack. Upgrade to deluxe. Guys, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Alright, let's go back to page 1. We're definitely going to get you. Just to get the flow going, you know? Page 2, we got everything. Page 3. Page 4. Get the edge pack. We need some good skins for sure. Hey, what do you guys think about what's going to come and what do you think this is? I know we got to get a badge. I know, I'm thinking a badge. What if we get a sick player? What if we get a dragon-themed Ronaldo that breathes fire when he scores? What would you think? Sugar, we're going down swinging. Need 1680 for this one. Page 9 looks like it sucks. Available in 12 days. Buy star points. Yay. I want to get all the CP ones that are available first. We got those. Okay, then I want to get all the packs available. Okay. That was an expensive pack. I don't know if I should have got that one, guys. That was kind of shit. I don't want these white boots, even though they're dope, but I don't do blue because that's Man City and a Man U through and through, you feel me? The premium one. Done. Page 1's done. Page 2's done. Page 3's done. 1, 2, 3. Page 4's done. Page 5 can't be done. So nothing for like 40. Alright. What up, Simple Go? How are you? 11 skin packs. Let's see what we do here. Let's open the crappiest ones first. We have 37 mil. Alright, so $10 spent to get all this shit. Let's see what happens with it. So far, it's been well worth it. Oh, legendary. Oh my god, the mountain one. Yes, a Cam mountain one. Yeah. Huge boost, boys. Wow. Just stick it in and shove it up my UFL. I mean, that's what they did. They just stuck it deep in there and twisted it. And I'm talking about a knife, so get your minds out of the gutter. Nice, Simple Go. Yeah, I know my boy was waiting for me, my boy Saunders, and I haven't seen him on here. He's going to be pissed he missed it, but he could watch it later. Shout out to you, Saunders. I see you always want to get on, man. Huge shout out, bro. I appreciate your support. It means a lot that you know you're invested in the channel like that. It really means a lot. Truly. I joke around a lot. I'm goofy a lot, but I'm dead serious. You guys are the shit. Truly love you guys. And that's why I want to help you guys get to the top with me in this game, dude, because that's what we started when I got to the top, when I started this channel, and that's where we're going from here. Alright, a legendary Roar. Not necessarily what we would have picked. A Barella. And a Mountain. Alright, now what we do is we go in here, 37 mil. Put players Biscayne. I'd like to do the strength, attack, positioning, heading. Ball control, crossing, dribbling. So we don't want that one. A fucking crossing for a striker, bro. I'll whoop your ass. Strength, attacking, positioning. I kind of like this roar. Maybe? Game changer skin. Look at those boosts for that one, by the way. Holy crap. I wish I would have got the Endrick one of these. I'm not going to lie, but that's okay. Free kicks, dribbling, crossing. Dribbling and free kicks would be a bad one. Stamina, jumping, and tackles. So that's pretty cool. So we can go tacticker there. Tectonic. I'm going to do the best one for each one. And then go back and switch them from there. Biscayne. Roar. Polaris. Biscayne. Alright. Alright, so the roar and tectonic. So I could go really any direction. Strength, attacking, positioning, and heading. So let's get another person at roar. Strength, agility, and jumping. We'll go ahead and use that one. So he gets strength, 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 and honor. Attacking positioning would be a good one. Can we get that though? Roar. One more and I got it. Man, that sucks. Roar, 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 roar. I'd rather... Strength, attacking, positioning. Free kicks and dribbling. Strength and agility. Tectonic, players for Biscayne. Take position, jumping, tectonic. Let's go tectonic with them. Ball control and composure. Just my center backs. Tectonic or roar. Heading and strength. Wait, what? They're tectonic. Oh, there we go. Heading, strength. The strength is a beast of a boost. I'll take the heading too. Ball control, composure. Free kicks and dribbling for Benacer. So let's go to roll. Oh, wait, hold on. Free kicks, 57. Holy crap. Free kick, 75. Wish I could do free kicks on him. All right. Yes, very well, dude. Some very good highlights. Everything's going fantastic, honestly. So we got the team set up. One more little trip to the skin lab. We definitely don't need no Barella. Definitely don't need any of that green shit. I mean, even the blue. Tectonic, I'll keep just in case. Ticker. Definitely no, I'm not going to do like scoring or passing. Scoring and passing won't go. Alright. Let's see what we got. $3.96. Alright, let's get one more of these. Two legendaries. Left wing and goalkeeper. I don't know if that helps me at all. I don't think it does, but let's see. Definitely didn't help there because I got the game changer. You know what I might do too, guys? I might move Williams. Nico. I might move Nico to Cam, bro. I'm dead serious. He might end up at Cam, guys. I'm dead serious. He's got good strength, height, everything. With his shooting boost and stuff, I might move him to Cam, playing Mbappe winger. I'm dead serious. We'll see, though. He's almost there at his point. I might do that, guys. Alright, I'm going to use the restroom, then we'll go play. Biscayne. That's a squad. That's a squad. Alright, I'll be right back. I had Jansen's keeper before. He's good, but upgrade him because going against Ronaldo, Mbappe, or Haaland is useless. Yeah, I'm going Bono. He's the beast for me. He's still the best in the game, in my opinion. When he gets boosted up, Mr. Bono himself. I think there was a skin for him that I missed too, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, boys, back to it. We're going to see if we can get a showdown game. So as you can see though, man, there's been some pretty good football goals that I've been scoring. So I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. If you really dig it out, you can get some good football. Now, as I go, I'm going to be fighting the rats off. But you see the skill in the broken defending, in the broken attacking, right? And by the way, I will say, as I'm playing this, dude, like, how can I say it? I don't think I'm off on my review of the game, but I'm off on how far behind I thought the game was, for sure. Because I'm having an absolute blast. And this was kind of a mission for me, like to help people out fully going into this. Like, I'm going to be playing a bad game, but I'm going to help people improve that still play it. It's their own decision. But if I have the ability to help, then I'm going to. But instead, I still have that mission and I'm having a blast. It's not just like, okay, here's this, here's this. It's like, okay, and there's no doubt there's going to be some shitty moments, but you can see no lag anymore. I don't know if that was just a little issue. They fixed it or what. And if you're ever wondering how I can tell if it's an internet thing or whatever, it's because I could play every other game, which I always test, and they play fine. If one game's lagging, then I know it's their servers. And FC has by far the worst servers, followed by eFootball, followed by UFL. But I want to note that eFootball and UFL, I rarely get server issues. Now, eFootball, when it does happen, though, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So I don't know, I just wanted to point that out. Well, that's what I'm saying, Ali. That's why I put out that series. I've already been there, bro. Trust me. I came up in an era where this game's only 5 months old, but when you watch those videos I'm releasing, my entire journey to the top was full of different eras of rats. That's why I put about that Dagger dude who's a content creator. That's why I can't stand him and know he's full of crap with what he shares, because before I even knew he had a channel, I'd be whooping him all throughout. You'll see, because I document it, all the games, and then I do explain it. Like, I'd be whooping him, but he would give me like the 4, 5, 6 games he beat me out of the 120, 30, 50, whatever I beat him. Like, you can count them on there yourself and see. If you take the time to count it, you'll see it. But the few games he beat me, he always would find a new glitch. And then sure enough, it would spread like wildfire. It was so pathetic. So I had to come up in a time where I was facing a new glitch after new glitch after new glitch after. Now, fortunately, I know what to look for, but it doesn't mean you can't always stop it. But you absolutely can prepare for it. Oh, not custom. Classic. Send you a picture of controller. Oh, you broke your controller, Ali. Sorry. I'm not a controller breaker. I pretty much, whenever I get angry at the games, or like say something bad happens, I just call one of my kids in and just beat the crap out of them. So they offer just, you know, it's good support. They offer good support. They know it's for a good cause. But I always get them a popsicle afterwards. So, and no, I'm not promoting violence to your kids, only to my own. Oh shit. Hopefully nowadays, hopefully with this community we attract enough smart people to sense sarcasm. But just in case, I'm totally joking. Come on, now we're waiting for ranked matches. What the is going on? Let's get in there. It would be nice to get a match. It would be nice. Damn, they're spoiling our freaking stream, boys. They're spoiling it. This is the grand finale. Please like and share my video. It would mean a lot. Those were my earliest videos that really got this channel going, but it's so interesting to watch the games, right? And to hear the input from that time and playing and what should be added and removed and fixed. And it's interesting to see what they did add and what they did remove and what they did fix. And then it's also interesting to see what they didn't fix. Not to mention, you're going to find your second favorite, UFL YouTuber somewhere behind me, of course, and you're going to see me whoop his ass, no doubt about it. You're going to find some players that have been playing this game all the way through because they can't play eFootball in FC that were like struggling. Like I whooped them and left them behind in like Ruby while I'm in Premiere just murking people. The only reason I didn't get to number 1, bro, you can see some of the runs I went on. Like crazy unbeaten streaks at the top. The only reason I didn't get to number 1 is because the 9 people in front of me were all from different parts of the world where they played each other. So South America and Europe dominated the rankings, which was unjustified. But with the way the system works, it takes everyone's overall ratings. However, I couldn't go play against Zelonius, who quit the game after, by the way. I couldn't play against... He was literally promoting his FC coins on UFL videos. And I'm pretty sure they probably nipped that in the bud because that's a ripoff. Because they knew that no one could really use that. Whoever's watching UFL video ain't going to go buy FC coins. So he was kind of ripping them off. Because the way those deals work is you put X amount of ads in your videos and you get paid for each one up to a maximum amount and you have to do a minimum. And so think about it. If I had an eFootball coin buyer as my sponsor and I started putting it on UFL videos, you guys would be like, what the fuck is this, bro? Why would we care about it? Now, some of you cross over, but not enough to where a sponsor is going to pay you to put an ad on a total unrelated video. I know. No, he's used to... He does way more than that. But then when he goes on stream, it seems he'll try to die down. There's one game in there that you'll see coming up in a future episode. I think it's tomorrow's or the next day's where I play him. And I showcase the match. And I literally am smoking him. But he comes back with 2 goals on 2 corner glitches. Then I end up winning in the 90th minute, 3-2 or something like that. Or no. One of them I beat him 2-0. Then I beat him in the 90th minute, 3-2. Then the last time we played, I beat him. Literally, I wasn't even playing the game. I was just going like, "How's UFL lately?" And I went in and I played him first game, beat him with a game winner in the last minute, a beautiful heel ball pass from Chiesa, goal. So yeah, we just been owning since 94, bro. The way I see it, the only reason I don't like him is because he's a rat and he's a liar. He puts out this shit with tactics and all this, but then goes and tries to win with non-football. At least own your shit, bro. Go ahead and put videos out. Go ahead and put videos of how to do the broken through ball you do, or how to... do whatever glitches you do that you've always done since the beginning. Go ahead and put videos out, but don't be trying to lie to people and get people to click on your bullshit ass. Alright guys, we're going to do a tactics video for 4-4-2. Why it works is because if you score more, you win the game. And in the 4-4-2, you can score goals, and your opponent, if they score less, you win. In the 4-4-2, you can do this. So yes, use my tactics. Here's the setting. I copied this from OG's Tactics, so if you want to find out how to properly use this, go watch his videos. In the meantime, please like and subscribe. Thank you. It's like, suck my balls. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a poser. You're a fraud. You're trying to get clicks and views to get money, and you ain't shit. Now I'm going to expose you like the rat you are. Even just putting those videos out there. Watch them for yourself. Talk is cheap. You can mute the volume and watch me play this dude from day one, game after game after game, through all 10 plus episodes that I'm going to be re-releasing, right? With with the footage showing everything from the time period, right? It's a flash in history. It's a flash in history that shows a lot about the future and a lot about the present, period. That's why it's so important to watch. Because 5 months ago, bro, this channel is literally like to be fair, like 6 months old. Just barely 6 months. Think about that, guys. Think about that. We've only just begun this journey, and look how far we've already gotten. And yes, I say we, because you guys are every bit as much a part of this as me. Oh my God, look at that give and go. No way, I shot it too early. Beautiful football, though. That was beautiful football. Chemistry, it just gives you bonuses. No longer does it give you negatives. Okay? Goal. No longer does it give you negatives. So, you can get up to +8 in whatever category, in chemistry. So if you don't have it, your players will just be regular. If you do have it, you can get a bonus. So I strongly recommend, if you can, get the bonus. But if you can't, you can't. Get in, guys. This dude don't know what the fuck he's doing. Bang it in there. All right. All right, good tackle, good win there. Let me read this. Let's see. Oh, I appreciate that, Phil. That's awesome, man. Thank you. What survey is there, by the way? Is there like extra points you can get? Am I missing something? I saw somebody else talking about that, and that means so much, bro. You have no idea, Phil. Dude, that literally made my day, dog. Seriously, thank you. Yeah, I remember, and you said that before in passing, like during the cup, during the eFootball Cup. You were explaining. Oh, nice hit. Kolpani's a beast, bro. I'm telling you, go get Kolpani. He's cheap as hell. But you said that in passing, like, hey, how long have you played eFootball? And you're like, oh, bro, honestly, since OG started doing it on his channel from UFL, what I was like, damn, that's sick, dude. That you put the trust in you know what I felt football game wise, and you're killing it too, bro. You know, you're killing it. Now I will say, dude, I think I underestimated UFL because I am having a blast. Now, to get caught up, you probably would have to spend some money in here. So if you're not willing to do that, you could always wait. But what they need to do in UFL, they need to give better, like, they need to have like a welcome to UFL pack type of thing. You know what I mean? Oh my god, that was almost sick. That was almost realistic, like eFootball-esque. Like some of this real football shit in this game. Try to toy. Oh, you have an all green team? I forgot you told me that. So you're set then, Phil. So I forgot about that. See? I forgot about that. So that's what I had too, and I lost him. So no, you're set better than me. So yeah, you could easily come back and play. But I'm not saying that it's the, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I am having a blast, dude. I'll just say that. And as you can see, guys, you're watching, I'm creating some pretty good football moments that I didn't even know I could. Now, there's still the bullshit. Don't get me wrong. All this cutting and shit because they didn't properly fix defense drives me mad. If you were wondering, I didn't pass that backwards just to go to my striker. I tried to pass it to my striker. Ah, he's offsides. Sounders, there he is. I knew you'd be pissed. You missed pretty much the whole thing, bro. But you can go back and watch it. I shouted you out in it, bro. I thank you, dude. I thank you for your support. You pushed me. I know that you're a big fan, and that makes me like push even harder, bro, to know that you're waiting for it. But it was a good one, dude. You'll like it. The bad part is just some of the wait times for games. But the good part is we're still rolling undefeated. Well, technically, I had that one loss that I talked about where I was 70-30 possession. I was up. I got 8 shots to my opponent's 2. He did 2 through ball glitches, got 2 goals, and won 2-0. That was when I left Showdown this past week, and I was like, screw it, dude. I was like, this is what makes the game pointless. And I'd already dealt with a lot of bullshit from eFootball, so I was up to my neck. So I just ended my UFL. I didn't even go to finish my 15 wins. I went 9-2 and said, all right, fuck this game, peace. But then as I seen more and more videos pop up like, oh, best new tactics, bro. How are you going to release 10 meta tactics in 3 weeks? The meta hasn't changed, motherfucker. You're just bullshitting people. I could see if you do a wide formation, a narrow formation, a 5-back, a 3. Bro, you're just fucking regurgitating shit to get clicks and views. You know? But that's why I started playing. My motivation was like, guys, here's how you can do this. Holy shit, he got 0 shots. Here's how you can get to the top. Don't listen to this bullshit. Follow these steps. And that's why I'm showing you those classic videos. So you can see that I practice what I preach, that I've gotten to the top, that I've played through all the glitches. At times, I said, all right, fine, I'll use them too, because they were so prominent. If I didn't use them, I was going to sink in the rankings. But as we went on, the reason I stopped is because we thought for a while that it was going to be the only time that happened, like a flash in the pan, they would get rid of the glitches. Now here we are now with some of the same original glitches, some fixes, but a lot of the original ones, and no explanation. Nice, Sounders. That means a lot, man. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's why this one was good, because I think you'll enjoy it, Sounders, because there was some great football in it. You know, it wasn't what I originally thought, where I thought it was going to be some ugly football, having to win in the U-football way, U-football, UFL way to climb. You know, I've been able to do some good stuff. So give me one moment. Let me see something. All right, 1 second, guys. I have to respond to this gymnastics email real quick from my daughter. You know what? I don't want to hold you guys. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go eat some breakfast. You guys go enjoy. And if you can get back on in a bit, please come on. Sounders, enjoy the stream, man. Like I said, I shouted you out, and I appreciate it. Sorry you missed it live, but we'll get you on this next one. I have nothing but football streams from today till Sunday, so I will be back. Sorry for the delay last night. That's why I don't put out a schedule, though. I said 7 p.m., but, you know, with Three Little Monsters, sometimes that stuff changes. So I'll try to get as close to a schedule as I can. But in the meantime, enjoy this stream, and I will be back. I've been trying to get these showdown games going, so hopefully when I get back on later, there will be a little less wait time and more fun for you guys to watch. But this is where we're at, my club-wise. I'm very happy with the team. A lot of these are either you guys' suggestions or players I know. So players that I knew from before: Dumfries, absolute monster, Omega, but he was from a previous suggestion, so I got to give a shout out to the community there. I chose Pulisic, and that seems to have been a good pick. He's a little slow, obviously, but as he boosts up, he's going to be better and better. He's like a poor man's Messi, let's say. Omanami and Kopani, both suggested to me, both absolute monsters, right? Omanami's been shut down alongside Van de Ven, the best center back in the game. I mean, he's a 90 pace, 77 rated. Look what he's going to boost to. Yes, he's short for a center back, 184, but he's like a Cannavaro, dude. Jansen will eventually be replaced by Bono, but so far so good. I mean, goalies are goalies. The American Adams was my pick, and so far that's been a great pick. I feel like he's definitely probably underappreciated, without a doubt, in a lot of teams, so he's a monster. Benacer was my pick, absolute beast. This is what you want from a box-to-box. All around, going to be a good player, and he has the lock in red, which is rare, and it's huge because it boosts you up. So he has the ultra boost. So think about the pet. And then it also improves at least one more player with his skill on the pit, if at least one more has it. Increased bonus. So he has the lock. Look who else has it, guys. Amanami. pretty soon Van de Ven will. All my guys are going to get the locks. All my defensive guys. Because I think that's what helps is just defending. Improves, yeah, defending attributes. Yeah, so all my players who need defending attributes are going to get the lock. Then, all my players are going to get this. The pillar. All of them. They'll get a huge bonus. So make sure you guys get that. And then not only that, but I got it for Jansen. I'm going to get it for Bono too. This, the commander, improves my central defenders. Right? Adds bonuses. This is a new one. Retaliator's a new one. Hold on, guys. And I tried this one, this air delivery, and I didn't find it very... I tried it with Allison in red, and I didn't find it very good. Yeah, I know. I go to that. Oh, you're talking about UFL Scout, right? Hypnotizer. Raises efficiency against set pieces. So I don't mind that one, but this is new. Retaliator. I think this and this is new. But the Retaliator adds bonuses when starting counterattacks. Dude, that's huge. I want this in Commander. Cat play on the highest, plus Commander and Retaliator. I mean, that's huge. Let me see what other new ones there might be that I've been missing. Beacon's new, improves heading on set pieces. That's huge, so I want that for a mega. When did they add these new ones, guys? Lowers the chance of receiving. No. So that's not new. So that's new. Look, 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 look. You can see where it helps. Look, guys. Look at this real quick. Hold on. Look at the lock. Look at the lock. Check it out. Look real quick. Look at the lock. You can actually see what it boosts up. Headers and dribbling. So that lock... Wait a second. Hold on. Is that their original skills or is that what boost they're getting? Oh, I think it's their original skills, right? Am I right? That's what that means? Yeah, that's their originals. So for instance, positioning, passing. I forgot the third one yet, and cat play. So anyway, very cool, man. Teams get coming along. I thought that lock showed. They should show that. They should show you like the pillar in the top corner for what attributes it boosts. You know what I mean? Let's see if there's any other ones for like wingers. Let's see if there's any new ones. Don't think so. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. FC shapeshifters, yes, they're sick. I saw the new FC promo. It's very sick as usual. Very sick. So yeah, I'll be back, man. I'm gonna go get some breakfast and stuff. Stay tuned, man. Some good stuff coming. Thank you all for your support. You guys mean the world to me. I will catch you in a bit. Phil, if you could private message me about this survey and let me know where to take it and if there's a reason to take it, meaning like is there bonuses, is there coins, or were you just, doing it to be a badass? So yeah, just let me know in the comment section, bro. See ya. Oh, and to everybody else, I don't want to just end it like that. Please like and subscribe for the last time. I want to remind you. Please share the I guess, a comment, whatever you guys want to. If you have time, it helps the algorithm. As you can see, I'm not good at this promoting stuff. I just like to, hang out with you guys and talk. But it does help me a ton if you share a comment, whatever it may be. It could even be like, you suck, bro. And then please join the Discord. There's a ton of players in there that, shoot information back and forth. You get to drop on all the new next things. That's where, if I go live, I try to remind people. I forget a lot. But yeah, just make sure you do that. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.